Good evening, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Perfectly
yes.
all right.
Yes.
All right. Good evening. Wow. It's a wow time. I can say that because we all are gathered here today at this evening at the Indian Plumbing Association, and I, Sandeep Mandirata, Chairman, Mumbai chapter, welcome all of you for joining with us at this eventful evening, as I say, where we say that plumbing udyog ki baat Nitin ji ke saath. So let me tell you that we have got just a message from his honorable minister office that he is going to join us very shortly, maybe another 10-15 minutes. We will have him with us, and before he comes and join with us and start interacting, let me share my excitement that I'm as excited as you all are, I think. And I would like to extend the thanks to all the members of Indian Plumbing Association. They have come up and they have joined us on this evening. This evening, as I said, is full of a lot of events we are going to have. We have a couple of surprises for you also, where you are going to witness it. And you have just seen how IPA has grown in last more than 25 years, for how the roadmap has grown and where we are going. So we are so excited that today, Honorable Minister Shri Nitin Gadkari ji, who is the Ministry of Road Transport and Highway, as well as Micro, Small and Medium Enterprise Industry Ministry. So he is going to hear us out. He's going to share his vision with us. So we are going to have a wonderful evening, I can assure you. And along with that, we have eminent personality who are on the panel with us. And let me go one by one and introduce you. They are with us. So can we have the PowerPoint presentation, guys? Sushant, can you play? Okay, before Sushant is bringing on the to all of you in front of all of the presentation, let me introduce. We are very happy and excited to say that Mr. Sanjay Kirloskar ji is with us. He's the chairman and managing director of Kirloskar Brothers Limited. Uh, Established in 1888, of Kirloskar Brothers Limited is one of India's oldest manufacturing companies. Kirloskar Brothers Limited is India's largest centrifugal pump manufacturer and has manufacturing facilities in the Netherlands, South Africa, Thailand, the United Kingdom, and the United States of America. He has taken an Indian brand to all over the world. Thank you very much, sir. We are so blessed and we are so happy and excited to have you with us. And it's a great opportunity. And since virtually we are welcoming you, and I wish that very soon, when the world will come back to the normalcy, we will have you live physically also with us so that we can hear more and more inspiration from you. Thank you, sir, for joining with us.
Thank you, my
All
friend.
right. Thank you very much. Our next panelist is Mr. Hemant Watweji. He is the chairman and managing director at Willow Mathur and Platt Pumps Private Limited, India, a subsidiary of Willow SE Germany. They are the sixth largest manufacturer of pumps and pump system for building services, water and industrial segment, with headquarters in Dortmund, Germany. Under the strong leadership of Mr. Watwe, the company soared year on year to double digit. I welcome Mr. Hemantji. Hemantji, thank you very much for joining with us. And I can show you that Willow Mathur Platt has always been associated with Indian Plumbing Association from a very long time, and they have a big supporter to us wherever we need. So thank you very much, sir, and I welcome on behalf of the entire IPA family to you. All right, moving on. Yes, thank you very much. Our third panelist is from Finolex Company. His name is Mr. Pradeep Vedula. He's the head of the sales and marketing for Finolex and has a 15 years rich experience across plastics, paints, specialty chemicals, and apparel industries. He has worked in varied industries, roles as well as in management consulting. Passionate about analytics, he empowers teams to transition from good to great by leveraging both traditional and non-traditional tools. Pradeep is an alumni of IIM Bangalore and Delhi Technology University as an ardent educator. Pradeep loves to teach in his spare time. Thank you very much, Pradeep ji. Thank you for joining with us. We welcome you on behalf of Indian Plumbing Association, and we are very happy. And as Finolex has always been a good support, and they have always bring the best of technology for always for us. Thank you very much, sir. Moving on, now we have another panelist, Mr. George Rajkumar. Mr. George Rajkumar is the country president of Grundfos India with more than 20 years of experience in the pump industry. Mr. Rajkumar has been associated with Grundfos India since 2001. During this time, he has held various positions in operation, customer support, and supply chain in India, Singapore, South Africa, and in South American countries like Brazil, Argentina, and Chile. Since 2013, he has been involved in formulating new strategies for expanding the company's footprint in India, including setting up a greenfield manufacturing center in Ahmedabad, India. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome
Thank you.
Mr.
Thank
George
you.
Rajkumar. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for so we can see what a large representation we have from the pumping industry with us today, and we are so glad to have all of you, sir. And now let me move on to our own National Secretary of Indian Plumbing Association, Mr. Chandrasekhar Gupta ji. CS Gupta sir is with us. Thank you very much, sir. It is always a pleasure. And since I can see from the last more than 26 years, you're serving the Indian plumbing industry. Thank you very much, sir. We are so blessed to have you with us. Ladies and gentlemen, now let me invite and let me introduce you all our most dynamic national president, Mr. Gurmeet Singh Arora of Indian Plumbing Association. He is with us and he is a national president. He is also the managing director of Rajco Copper Metal Industries and he is pioneer brand of Rajco Copper Tubes. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for your time and joining with us. And now I would like to request you, since we have other eminent personality, our own beloved S.G. Devlalekar Saab, who is the emeritus chairman, or you can say president to Indian Plumbing Association. So please say a few words and introduce him to all our panelists also. Sir, to you.
Well, thank you, Sam. Thank you very much. And by the way, he is in the midst of a wedding in Chandigarh, and he has left the function because there are COVID restrictions. So obviously, you have to finish before a certain time. And thank you, Sam, for joining us. Well, Mr. Devlalekar started this association with very few people. Chandrasekhar Gupta ji has also been there since now we are in our 28th year. And when we started, we were only 10, 11 members. We are now a family of 5,523 chapters across the country. And I'm proud to say that we are growing at a growth rate of more than 20% per annum for the last 5 years. All our activities are growing for more than 20, 25% per annum. And we are trying to see how we can unite the industry with the developer and the design industry to make sure, because plumbing contributes to 13, 14% of a project cost. And therefore, we have signed MOUs with CREDAI with 12,500 members, NAREDCO with 12,000 members, IIID with 9,000 members. And we are trying to see how we can imbibe technical attributes of plumbing and water saving techniques to all these associations. Our next target is, of course, the Council of Architecture and the IIA, Indian Institute of Architects. Because after all, plumbing is, whether it's HIG, MIG, LIG, economically weaker section, plumbing is everywhere. Even when you build roads and bridges, you need plumbing. Stagnant water causes havoc on the roads, as you know, in India. And therefore, it's important that all of us team up together to make sure that whatever we do, we save water. We do not have water for tomorrow. India has 17% of the world's population, only 4% of its fresh water. And unless we do not conserve, preserve, reuse, recycle water, we are not going to have any water for our children and their children to come. So we are in a very serious situation where we have to develop. It's very expensive to treat water, as we all know, and then we get a reject, which we do not know what to do with. So I would request all the participants, we are around 1,000 registered participants today, that whatever we do, we must conserve and preserve water. Now, since Nitin Gadkari ji has informed us that he'll be joining us in the next 11 minutes, that's 6:30, he's slightly late, he's involved in another meeting. I thought, let us have a panel discussion amongst ourselves. So I would like to ask you this question first to Mr. Sanjay Kiloskar ji. How do you feel IPA can work towards the joint betterment of the industry concerning both R&D, and because we have plumbing codes which we have adopted from the International Association of Plumbing and Mechanical Officials USA, Of course, these are completely indigenized. We have revised them in 2008, 11, 14, and 17. And even the Uniform Illustrated Plumbing Code of India is 673 pages of plumbing. We have a Water Efficient Products India Guide, which shows us how we can save 35 or 40% water without compromising on the comfort of the user. So, how do you feel IPA can work towards the joint betterment of industry concerning both R&D and also through government interaction? Sanjay ji, I'll go from speaker to speaker so that we can interact for the next 10 minutes till at least we can get some cohesive movement together. Sanjay ji, to you.
Thank you, Gurmeet ji. You know that I'm not that very involved with the Indian Plumbing Association. It's my loss. I would admit to that. But I'm very happy to hear that you adopted global standards. There are global manufacturers, and I think the best thing is to see how you have more meetings to see how good ideas, best practices can be shared each of us, and to also work with the different stakeholders, especially in certain areas. You have to work with regulatory bodies, you have to work with different associations, bring them together and see how best practices around the world can be adopted, of course, considering our local conditions. So that's in short my answer, because I'm sure that others also would want to speak. Thank you.
Hemant ji, what are your views, sir?
Gurmeet ji, I think it's a very relevant topic considering today's situation. The first thing is the energy conservation, and second is the water conservation. And when we talk about these two combining together, and bringing in the comfort to the households, and this total integrated approach is what the Indian Plumbing Association is trying to bring. And I believe the standards that we have adopted are quite relevant, but at the same time, we must admit that the world standards are going up and we must be able to catch up with them. Now, just to give an example, the IE3 and IE4 motors for the pumps, or MEI efficiencies in the pumps, which has been a regulation in Europe, is still to come in India. So we're still lagging. So I believe working closely with the regulatory body, as Sanjay ji rightly pointed out, and bringing out in kind of a uniform approach to tackle these issues, we believe that we will be able to combinedly bring a significant change in the overall approach of the plumbing industry and bring in more efficiency, efficacy. Of course, R&D is one angle to it, but at the same time, these new advents of artificial intelligence, the new communication channels and things which are opening up, we should be able to use this large data, which is now going to get available for the benefit of all the users, as well as all the back-end partners who are contributing to the efficient implementation of plumbing program in the country. So that's my short answer to your question, Gurmeet.
Very good, very good. Thank you. Pradeep, I'll move to you. I would like to ask you another question. We are signatories to the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. And India is committed now to move towards net zero buildings on energy, water, waste, and carbon by 2050, and to also convert the current buildings to 2050 and all new buildings by 2030. So, what are you are a pipe manufacturer. What are your views on going net zero?
So I would say, first of all, good evening, Gurmeet Singh ji, and good evening to all the other eminent co-panelists who are on the call. It's an honor to be part of this dialogue and to represent Finolex in this conversation. Gurmeet Singh ji, our chairman, Mr. Prakash Savdia, extends his best wishes and regards, and he regrets that he couldn't join this conversation himself as he's traveling overseas. In fact, he fondly recollects several other forums on which he had shared with Mr. Gadkari Saab, and the wise words that they had exchanged. Coming back to your question, Gurmeet ji, look, I won't say that net zero is a great initiative. Okay, I would say it's an imperative. It's not as if it's something we do and we will have great results if we do it, but if you don't do it, then it's all right to be so. As you rightly pointed out, not only on this conversation, but in several other discussions we have had earlier on similar lines, that energy conversation and essentials like water conversation, they are no longer priorities. They are today criticalities. We need to get this right. And of course, as you rightly pointed out, the regulation or the regulatory framework for this and the technological enablement of these initiatives is still evolving. We as an industry, for example, as a pipe manufacturer, now, even though we have a certain reliance on, say, a petrochemical background for our industry's requirements, yet I would say this is one of the industries that has really woken up to this entire agenda around going net zero. There are very strict regulations that have come by in Europe, some of which are self-regulated by the industry, some of which are mandated by the individual governments, which have pushed the entire petrochem industry, including the PVC element of it, to move towards a far greener, a far more sustainable direction. And that is the way in which we see the Indian industry, the Indian PVC industry and pipe manufacturing industry also moving in. And that's a step that we have also taken, or that's a direction that we have also taken and have made little but significant progress along those directions. Just to share, sir, a couple of things that we do around sustainability. Like when we had this conversation the last time around, I shared with you rainwater harvesting initiatives that we have driven and enabled right from, say, a school-going, for the context of school-going children in terms of creating awareness, as well as building huge rainwater reservoirs and lakes within our own manufacturing premises to support water conservation, particularly as a net zero initiative. So yes, Gurmeet Singh ji, this could not be more timely. This discussion could not be more timely. Your concern could not be more valid. We are all on the journey, whether we are looking in the same direction or not, and we all have to make sure that we take the journey forward at a pretty good enough pace, so that we don't have the same conversation 5 years down the line and see that, oh no, we didn't really move much ground on this. So that those would be the views, Gurmeet ji.
Thanks, Pradeep. Thanks. I'll go to George on something on pumps. George, N.K. Ranganath, your past managing director, is on my IGBC board and very friendly to me from the last 25, 27 years. I understand your solar pumps are booked for the next 2 years. Now, solar pumps, obviously, you don't need a electricity connection. You produce your own energy by solar. What is your view on converting pumps into solar pumps, at least for agriculture, where it's all open and the sun is free for you?
Yeah. Thank you, Gurmeet. Also, you touched upon the very, very important point. While as a nation, we are committed for net zero by 2050. These are all the really important initiatives we need to take it. There's one of the things is going into solarization of agriculture pumps. It's a great initiative by Government of India. Then also they have brought in a Kusum scheme through which they are expanding their network and providing the facilities for the farmer to subsidizing through the financing scheme for bringing in the solarization. Since we are in the solar market in the overseas, yes, we have also gone into getting into the solar market in India. Yes, but it's an initiative today, but it's a long way to go to bring. As you said, the sun is available free. Then why not? We need to make use of that opportunity to bring in. Because when the entire country is going towards water conservation and the energy conservation and bringing the zero emissions, so these are all the great initiatives taken by Government of India on both towards water initiatives, water conservation through the Jal Jeevan Mission by bringing the water to the households. Second one is through the solarization of the irrigation pumps through Kusum scheme. And these are the two things which runs parallelly for bringing this, achieving the net zero. Even though we talk about net zero by 2050, the time is very short. It's a time to take action. That is why these schemes are being introduced by Government of India. We need to make sure that at least the industries like us, and we need to take it forward and implement quickly. If not, if our generation take these initiatives, who else is going to do it and bring in the better planet for the next generation? So it's a time to take action for all industries who are working in this field, both in water and energy sector, have to take these initiatives. Then also just to touch upon the first question on how the industries can work with IPA, then IPA is integral part of pump industries. Even though we produce, innovate and put in a lot of money in research and development, bringing the pumps, unless it is been implemented, plumbed properly, then we don't get that real achievement what we do. So it's an integral part, and more than that, then we need to upskill. So my request to you as a chairman of IPA, then work with the pump industries for upskilling the plumbers. We need to start the plumbing schools, and we need to bring this as a curriculum as part of their regular curriculum in one of the academics. Only then the importance of plumbing and or the kind of code and what is that to be achieved and properly to, otherwise we don't get that water efficiency, also the energy efficiency, if we don't do that plumbing properly. So my request is to work with all pump industries to bring this, as jointly we will upskill, then we will do it for the greater nation, for the next generation. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Well, I must inform you, we have started what we call Center of Excellence in IPA, where we will be also adding on skilling. Mr. B.O. Prasanna Kumar, our chair from the Bengaluru chapter, and also a very renowned consultant from the south. He just waved his hand. Can you wave again, BOPK? So he is the chairman, he is the convener for the Center of Excellence, which not only includes plumbing labs, but also includes skilling. We'll work with you to see how we can upskill plumbers to a level where, because unfortunately, there is no training or education for plumbers. A plumber learns how to do threading on a pipe and he becomes a plumber, you know, and then, or a guy who can knows pumps, only knows pumps, you know, he doesn't know piping. We need to obviously get into skilling in a very large way. Sanjay ji, I want to come back to you. And before that, Sandeep, you have to interrupt me when the minister comes in, because we can't keep on talking and have the minister waiting on us. Okay, so
I will do that.
Shankar,
I would like to add.
Yeah, please add.
Yeah, I would like to add here also that we are also live on our Indian Plumbing Association Facebook page also.
Yeah. So I think we have more than 1,500 people hearing us now. Yes. But anyway, so Sanjay ji, you have factories in Thailand, you have factories in Netherlands, and you are one of the proud manufacturers supplying pumps from India to many countries. That of course really makes us all proud also, but fact is, what do you feel about Videsh over Swadesh, and how can we protect the Indian industry from the onslaught of foreign? You have tires, you have air conditioners, you have so many products coming in without duty, and these FTAs have been signed with many countries under the ASEAN many years back. Of course, they cannot be reversed, and how much anti-dumping duty can the government put, and that also is counterproductive. So what do you feel? How can we upgrade the Indian plumbing industry to what Kirloskar Pumps is doing and exporting even from India to many countries?
Thank you. You know, my point is, one has to be passionate, one has to be innovative. And a lot of people spoke about energy efficiency, and we spoke about solarization. So my company the solar pumps in 1986. And today also we supply pumps around the world, solar pumps. Since we are abroad, and we have 3 R&D centers, one in Britain, one in the Netherlands, where we work closely with Delft University, as well as in India, where we work with the IITs and IISc. One has to be on the top of, one has to understand what is happening around the world. If we want to be players in the global market, we can't, think of only our own country. And therefore, in 2005, I think we came out with what we call lowest life cycle cost pumps. Now, even today, there are many people, we have something like an 80% market share in the private sector, British water industry, with their private water players. And these pumps have been introduced in India as well. So my point is that, be passionate about the work that you do, and be nationalistic as well. Many times what we see are cheaper
Yes,
abroad. We need to bring them from outside.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, Sam.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, Sam.
Yeah, all right. Sorry to interrupt. As Honorable Mr. Shri Nitin Gadkari ji has just joined us. So can we have a big round of applause and welcome, sir? Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for joining. Honorable Mr. Shri Nitin Gadkari ji is the Minister of Road, Transport and Highway and Micro, Small, Medium Enterprise Ministry. And from the Indian Plumbing Association, we all welcome you and thank you very much for your time and your presence with us. Let us start this event, and we start this event with our national anthem. Can I request to play the national anthem, please?
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
Thank you very much. All right. Yes, Honorable Minister Shri Nitin Gadkari ji, I am Sandeep Mandiratha. I am the chairman of Mumbai chapter. Welcome you. And let me brief you that with us today, we have Mr. Sanjay Kirloskar. He's the chairman and managing director of Kirloskar Brothers Limited, established in 1888, largest manufacturer of pumps. Mr. Hemant Vatve is the chairman and managing director of Willow Mathur and Platt Pumps Private Limited, India, a subsidiary of Willow SC Germany. Mr. Pradeep Vedula, he's the head sales and marketing of Finolex Industries. Mr. George Rajkumar, he's the country president of Grundfos India. Mr. Chandrasekhar Gupta, he is the National Secretary of Indian Plumbing Association, serving the society from last 25 plus years, and our own National President of Indian Plumbing Association, Mr. Gurmeet Singh Arora. He is also with us to be as a panelist with you. So, sir, before we move on, I would request Mr. Gurmeet Singh Arora, the President, Indian Plumbing Association, to give his presidential address.
Honorable Nitin Gadkari ji and fellow delegates. Well, I have been given 5 minutes to speak. So I am going to speak like the new maglev train introduced by China 2 days back. It runs at 700 kilometers per hour. Supposed to do Shanghai, Beijing in 2 hours. Please excuse me if I go fast, but there's a lot to say. In my last 28 years in the IPA and the CII Indian Green Building Council, I have met with many ministers, central and state, governors, vice president, even the president of India. But I have never seen a minister so positive and always smiling. The minister we have in our midst is always smiling, even if he's answering a difficult question, always very, very positive. Thank you, Nitin ji. I heard Shri Nitin Gadkari ji's deliberations on TV, Network 18 with Shri Amitabh Bachchan, and my God, his knowledge on water, water treatment, rainwater harvesting are not only awesome, beautifully articulated into Mission Pani. Honorable Minister, still a guide to the Jal Shakti Ministry, his idea of interlinking rivers and solving issues among states, his agony of untreated water being unscrupulously dumped into our rivers, lakes and seas, And his dream of treating water up to the level of Singapore's new water is absolutely amazing. In Nagpur, he implemented the treatment of all black water, not only sold back to the Maharashtra government, but earned rupees 180 crore royalty. With 7 biodigesters creating methane, removing CO2 and creating bio-CNG to fuel 750 buses, 100 trucks and 100 cars. Implementing import substitution, reducing pollution with complete indigenization, Videsh over Swadesh. I think let's give him a big hand. His knowledge on rainwater harvesting and treating all grey and black water makes me, in all my humility, offer him to be a patron of the Indian Plumbing Association. IPA is a 28-year-old body with 5,500 members representing the entire plumbing industry, having thousands of manufacturers and contractors from the MSME industry. Plumbing, sir, contributes to 13% approximately of a project cost and affects everybody, whether higher income group, MIG, LIG, commercial, residential. Even roads require plumbing, bridges, gullies, rail over bridges, anything that is constructed requires plumbing. 70% of the communicable disease is transmitted through bad quality of plumbing. Diarrhea, incidentally, kills 3,000 children, even in our modern times today, every day. That works out to 10.95 lakh deaths per annum. It's more fatal than even COVID-19. Diarrhea today takes away more lives than COVID-19, and we do nothing about it. Some waterborne diseases through bad quality of water are cholera, typhoid, diarrhea, as I said, ambiosis, leptospirosis, and over 50 diseases I can name which are waterborne. 70% of the communicable diseases are waterborne and vector-borne. Everything, sir, that is produced requires water. So it's not about your ministry, Jal Shakti ministry, housing ministry, urban housing. I interacted with the Honorable Minister also. He was our chief guest for one function. A pair of jeans requires 9,000 liters to make. This cell phone requires 1,000 liters of water to make. One t-shirt, 1,500 liters. A kg of rice, 2,500 liters. A kg of wheat, 1,800 liters. A kg of sugar, 1,700 liters. So this is what we call virtual water or embedded or embodied water in a product. And therefore, everything we wear, eat, or use requires water to be consumed to manufacture. And therefore, a shortage of water means a shortage of food, because it is linked very clearly with food. India has 17% of the world's population and 4% of fresh water. We have an anomaly. The Jal Shakti ministry wants to supply 30 liters of water per head per day to every villager. Yes, very good initiative, fantastic initiative, but we have to produce the water. As you have said in some of your speeches, desalinization is very expensive, and therefore you substituted it with solar of 2 rupees 40 paisa per kilowatt hour, where we could have cheap energy and at the same time have a water treatment plant, and therefore subsidize the electricity cost. I would like to work with your ministry, sir, to ensure that we protect, conserve, curtail, treat, retreat, use, reuse, recycle every drop of water. Thank you very much, Sandeep. Thank you. In conclusion, I would also like to add that that we appreciate government's policy on public-private partnership. We would like to work together on the inclusion of industry associations, including the Indian Plumbing Association, in the development of the MSME sector together. We are headquartered in Delhi and would request the Honorable Minister to kindly let us know when we can come and meet him, so that we can upgrade the entire MSME industry in the plumbing sector, which includes piping, fixtures, plumbing fixtures, taps, sanitary ware, and of course, intercity piping. That's all part of plumbing. In conclusion, I would like to add, sir, Jal hai to kal hai, Jal nahi to kal nahi, Jal nahi to koi pal nahi. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Gurmeet Singh Arora, National President. Thank you for your word of wisdom. And with such message, we look forward to welcome Honorable Minister Nitin Gadkari ji and request him, his office to play his introduction video. Sir, can we have the video, please, sir? Wow. Wow. We are so blessed and we are so happy that we have with you, sir. Thank you very much for joining with us today. And let me to inform you that our President Emeritus, the founding president of Indian Plumbing Association, Mr. S.G. Devlalikar, he's 85 years old. He is also with us and he wants to welcome you by saying few words to you. S.G. sir, to you. Can we unmute S.G. sir?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we
Yes,
can
sir.
hear you,
Yes, sir.
LGD. Yes.
Oh, just a minute, please.
LGD, we can hear you.
Oh, you can hear. 1 minute. There's some old man's problems. I extend a hearty welcome to the Honorable Minister Shri Nitin Gadkari to this discussion and forum and share his thoughts with distinguished panel sitting in the dais. All members, panel members are distinguished in their own right and have close relation with the Indian Plumbing Association. I have myself been involved in this business for more than 55 years, having graduated from Bombay's VJTI in 1954 and 1954, and have worked in the government department for a year or two and then in the private sector. So most of the people actually are the second generation of the companies right from Kirloskar. I have visited Kirloskar factory several times and many of my relatives were there in the Pune. And I hope that the discussions and advice given by Mr. Gadkari as well as panel members will be useful to all of you, and we gain and the industry gains. One more thing amongst all the things they said, I would request that while we are giving a lot of advice and concentration on saving water as well as recycling and all that, there is one aspect which requires, it is a micro thing, which a young entrepreneur will do, is to measure the water. We say we have saved so much of water for rainwater harvesting, but many developed countries have got metering systems for everything. Whether you are harvesting the water, you are wasting the water, or you are measuring the water. Measuring the water gives you the detection system for leakages as well as consumption. So here is my little advice on the last days of my career to invent or probably adapt to our Indian conditions these suggestions, and where you able to, nowadays it is a world of Wi-Fi, so all the meters in the colony can be integrated and an overall picture can be built at every stage. Thank you very much. Welcome, Mr. Gadkari.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you, S.G. sir. Thank you very much. It was a wonderful listening to you. All right. So moving on now, I would request Honorable Mr. Shri Nitin Gadkari ji to inaugurate and make our digital platform Plumbing, Plumbex India, Connecting Digitally, an IP initiative for our members and also a special web series of Plumbing Udyog Ki Baat for our members. Sir, we would like you to inaugurate it. So can we have an inauguration video, please? Hello. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Now I would like to extend the mic to you, and we would like to hear from you the word of wisdom and your vision, as well as our panelists are with us, so they would also like to interact with you and talk to you. Over to you, Honorable Minister Shri Nitin Gadkari ji.
Mr. S.J. Devulalikar, IPA Chairman, ex-Chairman. Mr. Gurmeet Singh Arora, IPA National President. Mr. Chandrasekhar Gupta, IPA National Secretary. Shankar Ghime, Chairman, IPA Nagpur Chapter. My friend Sanjay Kirloskar ji. All respectable dignitaries, member of IPA, colleagues from plumbing industries, invitees, and all my dear friends. It is really a pleasure and pride for me that I am interacting with you. It gives me immense pleasure to be present virtually here, and I compliment Indian Plumbing Association for inviting me to the Plumbix India event, engaging all stakeholders from the plumbing industry across the India. I am happy to know that this platform would showcase all information related to the latest plumbing products, plumbing design, installation services, and technical and product specification to infra industry professionals, buyers, and users. There will be also technical webinar series, the Plumbing Udyog Ki Baat, planned on various aspects and specialized area in the plumbing field for the skill and knowledge enhancement of all stakeholders. I wholeheartedly congratulate Indian Plumbing Association for such initiative. This should encourage and support the industry to head towards the Atmanirbhar Bharat vision. Like oxygen, water is also the basic requirement for the survival of life on the earth. Further, water is needed in industrial processes and agriculture activities. Many countries and big cities in the world and even in India are facing a serious water crisis. Awareness of proper and careful use of potable water among the citizens is very much required. We need to save the water. At the same time, we need to stop the pollution of available water sources. Protection of ecology and environment is our prime responsibility. The three important things, one is ethics, economy, ecology, and environment. So related with the ecology and environment, your role is very important. And regarding the designing, planning, and engineering, I am already facing the problem in my house. From last 2 years, my design is not perfect. Every day I remembering the person, the technical person. Because of that, the mixer is not good. I don't know what the problem, the hot water from the solar going to the tank, but there is no force. And 2 years I am facing the problem. So the designing is very important. And the knowledge, technical knowledge is equally important. What I feel that the innovation, entrepreneurship, science, technology, research, skilled and successful practices, we name it as a knowledge. And conversion of knowledge into wealth is the future. The other important thing, which is very important, that we can convert waste into wealth. No one is waste. It is depending upon the innovation, leadership, and the technology that you can convert waste into wealth. As far as my assumption, because I'm not the expert of the subject, but we have solid waste management and liquid waste management industries, the technical consultants. And presently, the problem is that we can make this industry of 5 lakh crores. But the problem is that we need to have a policy for PPPA model. Because in the road construction everywhere, we are using public-private initiative. And that is exactly my feeling is we don't have shortage of water. We need to plan the appropriate use of water with the appropriate planning. I am working as an NGO in water conservation. दौड़ने वाले पानी को चलने के लिए लगाओ, चलने वाले पानी को रुकने के लिए लगाओ, रुके हुए पानी को जमीन को पीने के लिए लगाओ. गांव का पानी गांव में, खेत का पानी खेत में और घर का पानी घर में. As a water resources minister, we are facing the floods. You are already taking experience of all these things. So one of the things that it is important that we should use water carefully. But the shortage of water will never come to the country because I don't feel it's a problem. But use of water, recycling of water, and making it to be, as far as ecology and environment is concerned, we need to plan technically about the whatever the international standards and successful practice. On the basis of that, we need to plan all the things. I am telling you the experience. Actually, when I was water resources minister, I was working on river connectivity. We have actually at that time when I was minister, there was 13 disputes between the different states pending from 1970, 1960. I call all chief minister, Punjab, Haryana, Uttarakhand, Himachal, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, all. I lock the door and I tell them that you take the decision, I make it final, otherwise I will not allow you to go from my room. And fortunately, out of 13 problems, state problem, we have resolved 9 problems. Dispute between Punjab and Haryana, there was one crucial problem was there. So there is no shortage of water. Even when we can plan to taking water from one basin to another. Actually, at that time, we have prepared one report, one project. That is we are making, at that time, we are making a big dam in Andhra Pradesh named as Polavaram. And at Polavaram backwater, the Polavaram is on Godavari. And actually, the total water was 1200 TMC of water is going to the sea. Where is the shortage? We need appropriate water management. So we have finalized 2 schemes. One is from backwater of Polavaram, taking it to Krishna to Kaveri, and no, one is from there was one river, and ultimately we have taken this report, take it to the tail end of Tamil Nadu. So there is no problem for dispute between Tamil Nadu and Karnataka.
Kaveri,
So
sir.
by this project, it can be, actually we can easily resolve the problem, water problem. So now the problem is that here we need investment. And there is lot of limitation as far as government is concerned. So we can use it water, just say in agriculture, we are using drip irrigation and sprinklers. One drop, more crop. And Israel is particularly, they develop the technology by which they increase the productivity by 2 times and 3 times. So first of all, I will request you, I am not the expert of your industries, but you need to reduce the cost of production and improve the quality of production. What is the problem in India? That our costs are very high, and we need public-private initiative to make it different type of standard, different type of materials with quality, and where we need to reduce the cost. Penar. Actually, that scheme was there, what taking Godavari water to Penar, Penar to Krishna, and Krishna to Kaveri. So already 2 options was there. So everywhere there is a water going to the sea. We can stop that water and we can use it. I have just planned one project in Rajasthan from Kandla, making a canal. And by solar energy, we can get the clean water, and that canal will be used for water transport going up to Jodhpur, Jaisalmer, and where it can resolve the problem, water problem. So if there is a strong political will, we can make this socio-economic transformation and we can make this project. I'm really happy that water conservation is very important. In Buldhana as an NGO, now my NGO get international award. So we have resolved the issue, 800 villages, their water problem is solved. We are making breach cum Bandhara by in Latur, in Maharashtra. We actually previously, before 3 years, 4 years, we have taken water by using railway train and taking water to the Latur. But now we are making 3 bridge cum Bandhara in Latur. Already the work is going on. And I am confident that after completing these bridges, bridge cum Bandhara, we will never need water by railway or any system where we for Latur, because by this we can resolve the water problem. So the technology, innovation, research is very important. Every sector we need that. And that is important for that waste to wealth. So already in the municipal corporations, the dark black water, which is the sewage water, is available. By adding bio waste, that is the food, vegetable and other thing, into the biodigester. We can get it methane and bifurcate methane from CO2, we'll get bio CNG and we can run the buses on that. So there are a lot of things, but we need some support from government and public-private investment. We can make economically viable projects. So there it is the time that everywhere we need to find out the option, because government, corporations, state government, they have got their own limitations. So in this project, actually the road sector, now I'm giving you the example that I don't need any money problem. We are now making a lot of roads, and today for this year, I'm planning to order the projects of 15 lakh crore. My budget is only 1,18,000 crore. But we are monetizing the project and we are getting money. So money is not the problem. So we are making a lot of new express highway, green highways. We are making the roads from Delhi to Dehradun within 2 hours, Delhi to Haridwar within 2 hours, Delhi to Chandigarh in 2 hours, Delhi to Amritsar in 3.5 hours, and even Delhi to Mumbai in 12 hours. Within a year or 1 year and within 2 years, you will get this road. Already work is going on. So that can be possible. We develop waterways in Ganga. Actually, the Ganga waterways is completed. Yesterday, I have a meeting with the minister, Sonwal. Actually, previously I was minister for inland waterways. For my responsibility was there for making clean Ganga mission. And now in Mumbai, I'm giving you an example. We have prepared a project taking water taxis from BPT to new airport in New Mumbai. The technically, economically project is viable. Within 70 minutes from South Mumbai, from BPT, Bhaucha Dhaka, you can go to an airport. By road, it will take you at least 1.5 hours. So already project is finalized. We have started RoPax services to Alibag. Within 70 minutes, the RoPax is going to Alibag. And Alibag to Vadkal Naka, we have already said to make a big 4-lane road. From the South Mumbai going up to Vadkal Naka, it takes 2.5 hours or 3 hours. But by this, using this RoPax and RoRo, it can be easily possible for you to go here in a 1 hour or 1 hour 15 minutes. So by using the different type of technology, everything is available. I don't know, but what is about the international standards in your industry? What type of material people are using in the world? What type of technical research is going on? And how it can be, you can make it to be economically viable. Somewhere we have to plan in a way that it should be economically viable. And for that reason, without compromise with the quality, this field has got the tremendous potential for creating employment. And that is the reason that we need the IIT and Engineering College who are specially working on this subject. We need institutions like, I don't know which are the men people who are doing research on it, but somewhere everything is possible. And it is depending upon the stakeholders. Probably Germany is supposed to be one of the best country as far as the technology is concerned. And 100% there are a lot of new materials they are using. And by using new materials, they reduce the cost. And I am also feeling that there is a huge capability in your field where you can make more exports. And that is exactly the spirit of Atmanirbhar Bharat. So this industry is very important, which is creating jobs. You need to have a training, skill development and research and development with the IITs and engineering colleges. And the people like you who are present here, they have a lot of experience. On the basis of that, you need to codify your codes. I don't know what are your codes. I don't know how your codes are equivalent to international codes. The Indian scenario is totally outdated. In the government and the institute, they don't want to change. They want to run the same business. So exactly now I am giving you the example. In Malaysia, just they have taken the distance between the two pier, they have standardized is 120 meter. And India, we are using it only 30 meter. So we adopted that. Only the change is that the beam which they are using, it is with the steel fiber. So steel and cement prices are increased. Why you are not going into the alternative for steel and cement? Let these people understand. Because of cartel, they are increasing the prices. If you can make the alternative for that, now I have decided in the road construction, I am planning to make alternative material for steel and cement. Carbon steel is there. Different type of fibers using for making of all these things. So the quality approach for the industry, skilled manpower, and international standards, on the basis of that, there is a 100% good potential for export. And that is exactly, we need to shape the industry to give an appropriate vision for the industry by which 100% we can achieve that goal. And that is exactly the spirit behind the Atmanirbhar Bharat. So I am confident that we are making the infrastructure of 111 lakh crore. Now, once upon a time, the solar power rate coming to 16 rupees 50 paisa per unit. Now it comes to 2 rupees 30 paisa. What my suggestion is, by continuous research, training, innovations, you can make miracles. But somewhere you need to have established your research, training, skilled training institution. And where you need to train the manpower. You need to make the DPR with the perfect people who can only making designs. Faulty designs are creating a lot of problems because every contractor feels that I am a designer. I don't need any advice from anybody. That is not the case. One person specialized in one subject is very important for the country. Our automobile industry size is 6,50,000 crore. I'm the minister for that. Now we are planning for making of ethanol, methanol, biodiesel, bio-CNG and electric. I'm telling to Mr. Sanjay Kirloskar that 8 days before I have a meeting with the construction equipment manufacturers. Because of road construction, their turnover is increased 2 times. And I advise them that immediately you make alternative fuel. Don't use diesel. So government policy is now using of ethanol, methanol, biodiesel, bio-CNG, electric. If you can convert one truck, diesel truck into LNG, I have just opened the LNG pump in Nagpur. He getting an order of 2,000 trucks because he is spending 10 lakh rupees on one truck for making it on LNG, and his saving is within 295 days, he will get his money back. Less pollution. LNG is the fuel for the future. Diesel is the hazardous fuel. Generator said now the government is giving permission, just like milk, you can take the fuel to the house of the people making that app and you can give it to them. The ethanol is surplus, is a good fuel. It's a biofuel, green fuel. We need our generator set on ethanols. Why we are using petrol and diesel? And I'm going to ban all these things. The future of the diesel and generator is not good because I am constantly pursuing it. And I will see that all equipment and machinery should convert into electric, ethanol, methanol, biodiesel, bio-CNG or electric. We are making research on lithium ion battery, making sodium ion battery, aluminum ion battery, zinc ion battery. The Chennai IIT has already completed research on making green hydrogen from seawater by using solar energy. And now the 86% of the lithium batteries now we have got in India, we can make it. And within 6 months, 100% we can make in India. Because of car scrapping policy, automobile scrapping policy, we will get even the lithium from that. So there are the huge availability of raw material in India. My suggestion is, even in your field, if you can make a vision for next 25 years, on the basis of that in the field of education, field of business practices, field of international standards, field of successful practices, field of using of different type of material, without compromise the quality, we can reduce the cost, by which this can be helpful for the whole world. It will give you more orders in the whole world and creating more export for the country, creating more employment potential. So my suggestion is, your industry is very important. Already you people are doing excellent jobs. 100% government want to support every sector and stakeholders. We need to eradicate poverty, and without capital investment, we cannot get industry. Without industry, we cannot create employment potential. And without employment potential, we cannot eradicate the poverty. For making Atmanirbhar Bharat, the role of all stakeholders is very, very important. I know that your role is also equally important, but somewhere you have to think about skill development, training, research, successful practices, codes. You have to make it of modernization. I am not talking about westernization, but I am talking about modernization as per the quality and cost is concerned. So it is very important. Presently, I am not MSME minister, but we have taken a lot of decision. Even a lot of changes are now in automobile industry. One of the company has manufactured electric truck for 40 ton. So everything is changing now. The technology and research is the future. Conversion of waste into wealth, that is, no one is waste, it is depending upon the technology, innovation and research that you can get money from the West. So this we can make the solid waste management, liquid waste management, the industry of 5 lakh crores. At the same time, the knowledge, all the experiences, innovation, entrepreneurship, science, technology, research, skill, we name it as knowledge, and conversion of knowledge into wealth is also the future. You need to plan appropriate vision for the future, and government will support you because this is the mission of Atmanirbhar Bharat. I am giving my all thanks to all of you, and we will support for development of this industry, and 100% with IIT, engineering colleges, research institution. My suggestion is that you should take different initiative using of different material, and by which we can reduce the cost, but 100% not compromise with the quality. And we will be the world leader in this field, where the people like you who are engineering point of view are well experienced. Your experience, your knowledge is very, very important. And that is the reason that 100% your role in Atmanirbhar Bharat is very important for the future of this country. I am giving my all best wishes to all of you. Once again, giving thanks to all of you. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
Thanks, Mr. Nitin Gadkari ji, for expressing very heartfelt advice, your suggestion, particularly on knowledge, innovation, skilling. IPA is also up to that mark in our trade of plumbing, and particularly your word of converting the wealth from waste. Absolutely, this is where we are converting water into the sewage into the back into the water for recycling within the industry for all the users. And another point which you stressed on, stressing on PPP model, certainly it is having a big takeaway in the plumbing industry as well. And simple terminology of avoiding waste, the best practices on water management is an excellent suggestion, which we'll take it from you, sir. And all your suggestions are well taken in IPA. And I'm asking our president, Mr. Gurmeet Singh Arora, to take over the questions which we have formulated, just to have the interaction on the IPA industrial perspective, sir. Over to Mr. Gurmeet Singh.
Thank you, Prasanna ji. I would like to inform the Honorable Minister that the Indian Plumbing Association has adopted codes from 100-year-old codes which have evolved over time from International Association of Plumbing and Mechanical Officials, USA, but indigenized. We have more than thousands of pages. We go through every full stop and comma and revise these. Have been revised in 2008, 11, 14 and 17, because these have to serve our methods of construction and our materials that we are using. So completely modern codes, and more than 1,500 pages on plumbing. The National Building Code of India is about 220 pages. I'm talking of 1,500 pages technical on plumbing. So we are already doing that, sir, and your advice is well taken. Cradle to cradle approach is very, very important, because as you said, we do not have a shortage of water. We can reclaim every drop of water, black or gray, and reuse it for many applications. As Singapore, we know, treats its water to a level where they bottle that water. Your flush water is put in a bottle and sold as new water. And people like you and us go and buy that water and drink from that. And here we say we can't do it. Certainly we can, sir. My first question to you, Honorable Sir, is, to your knowledge, that MSMEs are based trade-wise in different pockets of the country. Plumbing products like pipe fitting, sanitary ware, pumps come from many small manufacturers, micro, small and medium. Under Atmanirbhar Bharat and vocal for local, would the ministry considering supporting these manufacturers by opening and sponsoring technical parks devoted to specific industry segments, where we can have R&D and we have these levels of standards. If these facilities are made available to entrepreneurs, and not only will import we have a brain drain sometimes, and therefore it is important that we develop these technologies in India so that people work right here.
Gurmitji, your voice is not audible clearly.
I got your question. To help SMEs and their growth, the government has established technology centers,
Repeat
tool
the
rooms
question.
across the country. The tool rooms are concentrating on an integrated development of the related segments of industries by way of providing international quality tools. Trained personnel and consultancy in tooling and related areas and are constantly crossing new frontiers in the quest for excellence and beyond. Tool rooms are equipped with the state-of-the-art machinery and support facilities. All the tool rooms adhere to the principles of total quality management. And the tool rooms are ISO 9001-2000 certified institutions, and a few of them are ISO 1400 and OHSS 1800 certified. Possibilities to start technical parks dedicated to a specific industry like plumbing may be explored. You can make industrial clusters. And the problem is that now, as the minister, I already decided to make it the privatization of tool rooms. We have got a lot of good machinery from Germany and everything is there, but the output is not as far up to our satisfaction. So we are now planning to give it to the private sector, where they can develop new products, where they can develop different using of different material, even they can give the training of skill, and it is possible. So my suggestion is, for that reason, it is in Mumbai also, it is very popular. There is a waiting list is there. All over the country, we have got a lot of tool rooms. My suggestion is, with the collaboration of engineering colleges, IIT, and these tool rooms, you can take the use of it and making more research, and you can design your products and the quality and give them the challenge. They will be helpful for you in this direction. Somewhere you need a special institution for research, training, and skill. At the same time, adopting the new successful technologies which are available in the world, and even the research of on the basis of new engineers, you can also change the lot of things and giving total vision to the whole world. So exactly I will request you one model, that the people like you contribute from every entrepreneur, and you can make your own research training institute anywhere in Pune, Mumbai, or anywhere in any part of the country, and where it can be useful, and the government is ready to give you the support for that. At the same time, you can make industrial clusters where all type of your products you can design, you can make it. Suppose there is a press is there, its capacity is very huge. So 12 or 50 industry will be there, and it will be a use of that press will be very important. There are already MSMEs have got a lot of schemes. So my suggestion is, on the basis of that, you can make one cluster, and already the schemes are there. When you meet in Delhi, I will tell you. On the basis of that, you can make the good products, you can make the good designs, and even you can find out the alternative for different type of products which can be useful for making export from India.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Sanjay ji, Sanjay Kirloskar ji.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gurmeet Singh ji. It's a pleasure to meet you, Gadkari ji. Thank you for such an inspiring address today. I'll pass on your message to my elder brother Atul about diesel engines and diesel gensets. As you're aware, I run one of India's oldest engineering and manufacturing companies, and we export our pumps to over 130 countries. We made our first solar pump in 1986, and we have factories in UK, USA, America, Thailand, and my pumps are also working in the New Water project that was mentioned a little earlier in Singapore. So my question is actually relating to manufacturing industry. India has opened up to duty-free imports under various free trade agreements. This has adversely affected the business potential of many manufacturers. How does the ministry plan to protect the interests of such manufacturers?
Actually, to enhance the manufacturing competitiveness of MSMEs, increase productivity and support technology upgradation, the Ministry of MSME has been running a number of interventions, including JHED certification scheme, lean manufacturing competitiveness for MSMEs. In addition to this, the ministry, in collaboration with other stakeholders, have taken initiatives to improve the ease of doing business and promote exports. Third, all these initiatives will help the local MSME in becoming competitive and manufacturing high quality products. So if you have any more suggestion, now presently the ministry is not with me, but Mr. Narayan Rane is the minister. I will take it to you, to Mr. Rane, and 100% I will support you for any new suggestion, advice, where it can be helpful for Indian stakeholders for increasing their more exports. 100% please give us the suggestion. We will work on that line.
Thank you very much, sir.
Sir,
Mr.
our
C.S.
next
Gupta.
question, Nitinji, thank you. Yeah.
Sir,
Mr. C.S. Gupta, National Secretary.
Sir, your thoughts and vision have been really very enthusiastic. I have got a question that numerous things are being imported today into the country. And the new slogan of the today's leadership is Swadeshi over Videshi. So how can your ministry work to protect the interest of the MSMEs, which contributes approximately 30% of the GDP? And having 6.5 crore enterprises and with huge labor employment opportunities. Thank you, sir.
Actually, this is very favorite subject to me. Actually, when I was the minister, we have taken a decision that import substitute economy. What are we taking all the statistics from the Commerce Ministry that what are the things we are importing in the country? Considering the challenge faced during the coronavirus pandemic, the ministry has started working on import substitution for a number of products as a sustainable solution to strengthen the supply chains and develop MSMEs. Due to the sustained efforts of the government, local industries in India have started production face masks, PPE kits, sanitizers, face shield, etc. in the country. At the first time, we need to import it from China. In addition to this, there has been continued focus on vocal for local mantra to boost domestic manufacturing. The government has raised import tariffs on some production to curb cheap goods from abroad and support small and medium-sized local manufacturers. To raise the MSME sector's contribution to GDP growth and increase to share in India's export, there is need to undertake strategic initiatives. MSMEs must upgrade their technology and accept the new technology in order to make products that can substitute imports and increase the India export. The products may be identified that are indigenous, import substitute, innovative, of good quality, and that can be made at a lower cost and made available to the international market. Various initiatives have been undertaken by ministry in the areas of technology, adoption, financial assistance, establish market, linkages, maintaining quality standard to boost local production capacity. Further, network of MSME, has been helping MSME at a local level by providing necessary hand-holding and mentoring support. And my suggestion is everywhere, as per what is the list which is available about imports, the people like you have to find out the solution as a stakeholder that how we can make that product in India. If it is needed, you can make the joint venture for the technology with the other people also. So exactly in the every field, the people like you who can make the research and study of imports in your field, on the basis of that, you can make the alternative products, and where we should not, it will be your capability that we need to import, but we can export it from India. So that is exactly the Atmanirbhar Bharat concept is there, and we are working on that. We have changed the definition of MSME. Presently, in total our GDP, the contribution of MSME is 30%. We have decided as a mission to make it up to 48%. Presently our export of the country, out of which 48% export from MSME, we have decided to make it up to 60% from MSME. And the third important point is, up till now, the MSME creates 11 crore jobs. So our planning was to make at least create 5 crore new jobs in the country. So that is the mission, and we are working on that. If you have any good suggestion for that, 100% government is open. We can think about it to implement all the suggestions for development of our country.
Thank you, sir, for your good remarks and opening our eyes on the subject. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. And next question, Mr. Hemant Watwe,
Hello, sir. I think you mentioned about two topics, and I represent Velo, which is a German brand. We are pioneers in producing green hydrogen cells, which are compact, and the generators in Germany. And the second technology which we are talking about is the iceberg theory to separate the water from wastewater. Now here the enthalpy of freezing is definitely much lower than the evaporation. So those are some pioneering technologies which we are trying to bring in India also. My question here is regarding the plumbing industry as such, because today we are passing through a very tough phase after this COVID-19. So I'm sure government has taken several measures to protect us or to bring us out, bring our members out of this crisis situation. So we would request you to update our members on the government policies that you are trying to bring in so that we can tell our plumbing fraternity that very soon we'll be out of this crisis period with the support of government.
Actually, frankly speaking, not your sector, but every sector is facing crucial problem because of COVID-19. The government and state government are also facing the crucial problem. So these are the challenges. I'm always telling to people that there are some people who convert problems into opportunities and some people who convert opportunities into the problems. My suggestion is that there is a crisis. I'm accepting that. But my suggestion is, I remember one of the historical statement from the book of Richard Nixon. When he was not the president of USA, he was facing a lot of problem. At that time, he write his story, and that there was one very famous statement was there that the man is not finished when he is defeated, but he is finished when he quits. We need to fight with the problems and the situation. It's not in our hand. But I feel that we need to convert all these problems into opportunities. Government is taking a lot of decision. Government has announced a Atmanirbhar package of rupees 20 lakh crore in May 2020. The package is designed to uplift all the sectors, giving special attention to continued availability of capital for MSMEs. Champions portal has been introduced to provide solution to issue of MSMEs to make smaller units big by helping and hand-holding them to grab the new business opportunities. Emergency credit line guarantee scheme was launched in May 2020 and to provide rupees 4.5 lakh crores of unsecured loans to MSMEs and business enterprises to mitigate the distress caused by the pandemic. Subordinate debt scheme for the MSME sector, credit guarantee scheme for subordinate debt was operationalized in August 2020 to provide rupees 20,000 crore worth of subordinate debt to benefit almost 2 lakhs stressed MSMEs. Rupees 4,000 crore corpus created by Ministry of MSME as a distress asset fund to provide guarantee coverage to the loans under the intervention. Rupees 50,000 crore equity infusion for MSMEs through fund of fund has been introduced to establish a framework to help MSME in capacity augmentation and provides them with an opportunity to get listed in stock exchanges. Though turnover has been added in the new definition, but export turnover has been kept outside the purview of this definition so as to encourage MSME to export and without fearing for their MSME status. So we have taken a lot of decision, but I know that was very crucial period. Let us think for the best and prepare for the worst and try to convert problems into opportunities. And I feel that with the positivity and with the self-confidence, 100%, we will win over this war against COVID-19.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. I know with your busy schedule, you're attending to this function with a great zeal and enthusiasm. Our fraternity is really blessed to have. We have only 2 more questions to ask and to benefiting to our fraternity, Mr. Pradeep Vedula.
अपना DOPK.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, sir.
Prasanna ji, shall I go ahead with the question?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
Good evening, Prasanna, we have a message from Minister has to go. Can you finish with this one question, please?
Yeah, last question, please.
Yeah.
Mr. Vedula, quickly you can answer that question, please.
Sure, sir. Before I get to the question, I would just like to take a minute to share with Gadkari sir that as a former supply chain professional, So the work that you're doing on logistics transformation in India is truly inspirational, and it will be counted as a seminal period in India's progress to the next level of development. Sir, our Chairman, Mr. Prakash Chabria, also sends his warm regards to you.
Pradeep, you need to be little louder, huh? Little louder, Pradeep.
1 second, sir. Is it better?
Yeah.
Better now.
So, sir, I was saying that our Chairman, Mr. Prakash Chabria, also sends his warm regards to you. He has shared your August company in several other discussions, and he fondly recollects your conversations with him. In fact, Mrs. Ritu Chabria, the management trustee of our CSR partner, Mukul Mada Foundation, she recollects this one interaction she had with you when both of you were on the panel for awarding women Sarpanch leaders in an initiative organized by the Navbharat Group. And sir, in fact, we also would like to reiterate our gratitude to you for your very kind, inspirational and encouraging words for the COVID support initiative called Give with Dignity, which brought together MSMEs and brought together the COVID affected section of society in terms of providing them support and generating income on both sides. You had appreciated that initiative, sir, and we really are grateful to you for that. In fact, one other last point, so before I move on to the question that I would like to ask you, we have a special connection with your hometown, Nagpur, as well, sir. Mukul Mada Foundation has done certain very unique support initiatives in Gadchiroli, where we have opened up several period homes for women to not only eliminate the stigma around menstruation cycles, but also to upskill them in terms of being able to use sewing machines to stitch their own sanitary pads, and in the times of COVID, masks and generate income for themselves, sir. Now I'll just quickly move on to my questions. I realize that your time is very precious and valuable. So the country is currently experiencing the monsoon season, and this is probably the acid test season as far as roads and highways are concerned. In fact, the quality of drainage or the effectiveness of drainage of the rainwater that falls on the surface of the road and down the slopes is a critical factor in determining the life of the road. We have seen several instances, where on across roads and highways we have these potholes, or the life of the road reduces because of ineffective drainage. In fact, we feel that's one area where rainwater harvesting can be like, kill two birds with one stone. It can not only improve the life of the roads, it can also enable water conservation initiatives. So it would be really great if you could share with us what is the approach that the technical team is taking in your department to address this particular area, and how we and organizations like IPA can partner with you on addressing this.
Actually, it's a great experience to me in road construction. At the time the road crossed the nalas, rivers, some lakes are there near to the road. We are taking the aggregate material, making dredging free of charge, and using that material in road construction. When you will meet me, I will give one report on that. And we have resolved the problems of 1,000 villages, and we have made water chargeable wells, more than 1 lakh wells in the area, particularly Marathwada and Vidarbha. So without spending any cost, we solve the problem of water conservation. But as far as the rainfall intensity and cross slope of terrain, we generally provide the sufficient chamber over highway to drain off rainwater to a shoulder and carry it along side drains up to the culvert or cross drainage structures. Subsurface water through percolation and from the ground level has been drained off through provision of filter media in GSB layer in the pavement. Ministry and NHA has also promoting use of geosynthetic materials in the pavement layers, soil subgrade and highway embankment, and improving the permanently and so quick drainage of water. We have framed standard codes IRC SP 42, IRC SP 50 for provision of drainage and arrangement along national highways passing through rural and urban areas. It is true that the stagnation of water leads to damage the road surface and structures particularly. The low laying area under the bridges, culverts, ROVs are more prone to failure due to the water logging. And this important aspect about drainage arrangement has been always neglected at planning, surveying and DPR stage, and also poorly attended during actual construction. As per the contract, it is the responsibility of contractor and developers to provide efficient drainage system. IPA can extend their services during the drainage installation and maintenance work through periodic inspection, at least during the pre-monsoon session. All drainage arrangements should ensure to working properly. We are look forward for your contribution and further suggestion in this regard. And also, if you have some suggestions for that, we will think on it, because this is one of the crucial problem. And as far as my opinion is concerned, still we need some more things in this field. That is the need of the country and need of the hour.
Understood. We at Finolex thank you for your continued support and encouragement, sir.
Thank you very much, sir, for the inspiring words by you. It is really, it's opened up many ideas, connecting with the different departments, and all are working together for really Atmanirbhar Bharat, what is the vision envisaged by your government, sir. Now I'm taking over to Mr. C.S. Gupta ji for National Secretary to conclude the end vote of thanks for the same.
Before you hand over to C.S. Gupta ji, I would like to say, Nitin ji, even in the last over, you have scored 6 sixes. You are a better expert than all of us. You have bowled us all over. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yes, ji, please take over.
Thank you, Gurmeet. Thank you, VOPK. Friends, after listening to Gadkari ji today, I am sure that each and every participant would have felt a different energy level, knowledge, zeal, and enthusiasm. आज उद्योग की बात नहीं, उद्योग का सार सबको मिल गया है. It is my proud privilege and honor to propose a hearty formal vote of thanks to Honorable Minister and a very popular personality, Shri Nitin Gadkari ji, who could take out time and address the plumbing industry today through Plumbing Udyog Ki Baat Nitin ji ke saath. Thanks, respected Nitin ji, for sharing your thoughts, provoking views and ideas on water and waste management, quality and cost of the products, waste to wealth, use of modern technology, research and work innovation, and technology upgradation. All these will definitely enrich, inspire, and motivate all the participants in moving further in their respective profession and good results. Dear participants, Shri Nitin ji is a towering personality in Indian politics with a successful track record and holding a duos play card. Gadkari ji is an ardent follower and practicing personality of a golden doctrine, Yoga Karmasu Kaushlam. Let us all give him a big clap and applause. Sir, with your today's blessings and guidance, I am sure that plumbing industry and Plumbex will reach its pinnacle in no time. I also propose a vote of thanks to all the panelists, Shri Sanjay Kirloskar, CMD Kirloskar Group, Hemant Vatwa, MD Willow Mehta and Platt, George Rajkumar, Country President Good Phones Pumps, Pradeep Vedula, President Finolex Pipes, and IPA Chairman Emeritus Devalalika ji, all eminent participants from the plumbing and building industry, my IPA family for their presence in this event. Special thanks to IPA Webinar Organizing Committee and SQ team. Friends, see you all in the next Plumbing Udyog Ki Baat, a webinar on moving beyond net zero water on Friday, 30th July, 5 p.m. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Thank you very much, sir.